Hello again, it's me, Steve, and welcome to Steve's Long Stay Vintage Radio Workshop. Hi, nice to meet you all again. Right, this is an HMV. I don't know the model number because it's come with a weighted back, so I don't know. But what do I know about it? Well, first of all, on a medium and short wave, that must have come out, although it does actually appear to be doing something. It doesn't appear to be moving that, so that'll come out okay. Now this set is what's called a short superhead. Okay, I'll turn the set round and so I can show you what that means. Basically, a short superhead, which I think this might well be, it's a radio which doesn't have an extra amplifier stage, and of course it's short. Now the rumour with these, what they'll say is that they don't work all that well. That is not always the case by any means. I had a Pi, I think it's a 15 or 45, something like that, and it had a similar arrangement and it worked extremely well. Anyway, I'll turn this round and come back to you. And now I've looked in the back, actually I don't think it is a short super at all. There's another valve back there, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But that's neither here nor there in this case. This set, it might have a faulty transformer. I really don't know in this case. But the chassis has to come out anyway because of the dial. But as you know, I like to plug things in and see what they do. I know that people don't like me doing this, that people think I'm mad, but well, never mind. Let's see if anything starts to happen here. Well, the valve that's lighting up anyway. By the way, with these sets of valves are in parallel, so it will basically, I'll look at to see if this gets warm. It looks so it has been warm in the past, but whether it is now, well, we'll have to wait and see. Also with sets like this quite often, these are all E series apart from that which is in A. Now, the A series rectifiers have their own winding of the transformer here. I'll show you on the circuit why if we need the circuit, but basically these are not have the cathode and the heater as one, so the heater goes back to the transformer and the AC comes off it as well. It goes to the other valves, so that's why that does that. And there's nothing. Well, okay, I'm not too worried because I just sent a couple of wires off here which go to speakers, so we'll see what happens if we put these back on. What I might do also is possibly whip out the input valve and see if the transformer is all right on it. If it is, great. If it isn't, well, it's not so great. But things like transformers aren't as big a problem for repairers as people think they are. Yeah, I know a transformer, you know, in the bin, but that's not the case, because most of these transformers do exactly the same work with exactly the same sort of valves, so you can put anything in and it'll work. Seriously. So if you get, say, a Bush DAC 90 that's got it's got a problem with the 8-put transformer on it, which was the only transformer indoors, by the way, because they're you've got resistance for the valves because it's an AC/DC circuit, which is better in some ways than not in others, you know. I think we've discussed that recently. Well, that to me, you know. Anyway, the 8-put transformer on those again. There are a lot of sets of that time operating that sort of way with very similar valves. So again, you can put most things in, even new things, you know. So a false 8-put transformer doesn't mean a duff radio by any stretch of the imagination. It just doesn't. So don't let it. Okay. This one too. Let's give it a session with the bearing tool here. Bearing bank. I've got nothing on me, you know. I'll just twist them together actually and plug it in again and see if anything comes out of it. If it doesn't, well, there's a problem somewhere. Where that is, I don't know at this stage. But we'll find out and see. So red to red here. Doesn't matter with the speaker, but it's been marked, so I'll put it up as it should be, and take it from there. Good old Wago connectors, great things. Anyway, let's try again and see if anything good comes out of the speaker now. It might not. Put them on full. I don't know, but we'll see soon enough. That's buzzing already. A mains buzz, that is, not a... crackling, but the volume control does vary that crackle. So that crackle therefore is very unlikely to come from the 8-put transformer. If it comes to 8-put transformer, then chances are it wouldn't vary with the volume. So it's not that. So, try and get it working. Okay, not to worry. Give it some sort of an aerial. Hang on, maybe the solder would be better for that. as you can hear, it's basically saying to us absolutely nothing. But the crackle does actually go down with the volume control. This is still cold, by the way, so this transformer, which I was worried about, does seem to be okay. So I think it's time for the radio and the case to part company somewhat, because the radio is going to come out with the case, so I can have a look on the bench and find out precisely why it's not doing what it should be doing. And of course, from that, of course, how to make it do what it should do. The set is now out of the cabinet. The cabinet is on the floor behind me there. It came out in relatively easy, apart from one screw which had been cross-threaded, so no one can do about that, but I'll try and put something in its place where I put the thing back in. Other screw here, by the way, so I think might be some little amount of work needs to be done there. Although I can't see it on screen, the dial is off, it's put safely over there. So now, in it goes, and let's see if it'll if it'll play for us now, or crackle even. You don't know, do you? It crackled before. There you are. That's on the it's on the gram there. With it on gram, let's see what it's doing there. 218 and stable. Very stable. Okay, so if we go to the medium wave band, it's the best one to use. 209. To 209. I think that's all right. But something happening here that really shouldn't be doing. So I don't know what this is yet, but we'll find it soon enough. The can looks, they're not making any noise, so I assume it's all right. But last one wasn't, of course. But it's not getting hot either. So yeah, no is that, and no is this, which is a good thing because I was worried about that. But anyway, like I said, only 8 volts and stable. What I'll do at this point is I'll tip out the cap on the output stage, the tone cap, which is this one here. So I'll just wasn't that, but we'll change that anyway, so I'm not too fussed. So 17 unstable, 207 unstable, it's still crackling like heck. So something here is either bad connector or something. So, like I said, if we go to gram, that seems to be okay. I'll just do the old trick on the gram socket and prove my point. That seems okay, which proves that this is doing something anyway, and this one too. But going to radio, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, no. Because this set has got parallel valve heaters, maybe I can try whipping a valve or two out and seeing if that makes it work any better when it's cooled down a bit. But let's go underneath and see what needs to be changed anyway in the meantime. I might change one or two caps just on the off chance. There's one of course which must be changed, as you know. The valves, by the way, on this are that's probably an EL something or other, something like a 33. That'll be an ECH35. That'll be an EF, and that'll be a EBC. I don't know what they'll be, but I don't think it matters that much, unless one of them is causing the crackle, which is possible but unlikely. It won't be that one, but it could be any one of these two, or it could be the switch itself down here. At this stage, we do not know. If we did, I will sort it straight away and tell you, and it will make a video. So over it goes on its front, like that. Let's have a look and see what's under here that needs to be looked at. Well, first of all, one or two of these capacitors which need to be changed, otherwise, you know, the one the volume control there. Again, the volume control comes after this socket here, and that is okay. So it's something further back. What it is, we don't know. What I'm dreading, actually, I'll tell you straight off, I'm dreading it. It's a problem which is more common on American sets, where the IFTs get is where the caps inside them fail, and when that happens, all sorts of crackling also occurs, just like this, and so that could be a problem. But I think we'll start by changing one or two favourite components and seeing if that helps matters, because not because I'm not fault finding here, as I will be, but because they need to be changed anyway. So I think that's our next step. Some caps have been changed and things are different, but certainly not better. If on the gram setting there's still noise in the background there, it wasn't before, probably previous capacitors underneath have brought this out. If you take that off there like that, that's fine. That's fine. But that on makes that noise. Going on to the like that, you see. Now, if I was to make it is receiving underneath all the static. Now this means therefore the problem will be probably the valve. What I'll do just with the point. You see? That one too. No change. This one, that one on, and that's okay. Now at this point, I'm going to knock it off for a minute, and I'm going to take off this screening can here, which has to be on, by the way, otherwise this thing would certainly howl and make all sorts of noises. So this is a 6 something, 6Q, I think that's the 6Q7, 6Q7G. The 6Q7G. What is a 6Q7G? And have I got one? Because it was plugging one in just to see what it does, what it does and shouldn't do. It is a double dial triode and was used for receiver audio use. The dials will be for signal at AGC, and the top cap is grid 1, which is the audio side, but it's also used for demodulating as well. So it basically it's got 3 anodes. The anodes for the audio is on pin 3. 4 and 5 have the diodes on, and like I said, with the grid off, then you know it seems to work okay, sort of. I mean sort of, because sometimes even with it off, it does tend to make a bit of a noise. So it's 6Q7G, and I'll have a look and see if I've got one, because that would be a lot easier to sort out than going underneath again, which I probably have to do anyway. But it's worth putting another valve on just to see what this is and what it does and what it shouldn't do, because it looks to me as though this valve or something alongside this valve. Inside, actually, I noticed there's no, it's not. It's okay. But it's either this valve or something underneath around it and around the switch as well, which I've already sprayed, so it won't be that either. But I'll get one of these valves from somewhere for another set for testing, put that in and see if it goes away. As you can hear there, it's working now. I don't know exactly what I've done. That valve, get close to it, and it goes up like that, yeah? And that too. But if I put myself on, it goes into oscillation and goes off, but comes back slowly, as you can hear. The crackle is there. Take it off, and it's not. So looks to me as though there's something around here. Therefore, it might be this valve, might be something underneath, but it only happens when this goes on there like that, when the top cap goes on. Now on these, the top cap is the grid, I think, which goes down here and also elsewhere, so it's coming from somewhere here. I'll change that and see what happens. Also, if I take that wire off as well and see what that does as well, that's the next thing to do, I think. But it appears to be coming in from this stage here. So like I said, always use a logical way of doing things. Power, audio, IF, RF. Yeah, this is the oscillator side here, by the way, that comes in there. So it's here. So I'll give that a clean out as well and see if that helps matters. But there's something, I think there's something around here. I found it where the crackle was coming from on this, and I can't so surprised to say it's wave change, which is the capacity there, which I took off because when I did it in such a touch with a screwdriver, it went worse. Also under here, I saw a tiny little spark under there. If I put the radio on and just see if it comes up and see if it'll do it again. If it will, great. If it won't, well, it won't. But it's under here, tiny little spark. Now, when it's with, you know, second there, see now. So in that case, we've got to actually look at how we're going to sort this out. I think on this radio it switches the HT off to the other valves, these two here. That's the IF of and the figure switch in the valve. I think they come off, they switch off as soon as gram is selected. So in that case, I think the best thing to do here, first of all, is think, well, do we really need to use gram now on a set like this? Well, no, we don't. And if we did, well, we can find a way. But as it stands, I think the best thing to do is probably to work out where it goes under here, and take the wave change switch out of the circuit. Let's have it switching RF and RF up this end here, which is all it does apart from that, you know. So the base switch, which switches on many of these sets, switches the mains, the HT, which is about 300 volts or so, and of course the RF. And if it's tracking that badly, it's doing that, I think the best thing to do is take the HT off it, run it right through. That is probably the best and the safest way to do it. And of course, I need to find out what that is as well, because whatever that is, it doesn't seem to be on it anymore. So I know it's a capacitor, but what it is, I don't know. I changed DC capacity down here as well, and again, no change either there, which you just heard. But now, therefore, I'm going to be looking for a manual for this, because it's not, as it stands, it is not going to be, shall we say, all that friendly towards us, because that under there, little sparkler, so that's worrying. That little sparks tend to make big fires, you know. A look at the circuit down here proves that these wires here went to a switch on the circuit on down here on the wave change switch, and that was one that was sparking and flashing, and also it turned out making a crackling noise, because now never work with children or animals or radios, you know. Now of course yeah, see, so now of course we've got to sort out how to do that neatly, and of course other things such as these wires and what other places, and it's we're nearly there now with it. So at that point I've got to put it back in the case as well, after I've given certain parts of it a good clean, including the tuning dial, which is suddenly decided not to do anything for us, which is a bit of a pity, but these things happen. First of all, thank you very much to Andy at BT Electronics Repair, because of course he sorted out the dial for me here. That was because it kept jumping off, and it kept jumping off because that was part of the alignment. So we put it back, and it now works fine. Like I said, I've cleared out the crackling as well. That was due to wave change switch. So with it all on now, it's in the tuning station. We should hopefully get something friendly to it at least. I've also put that back on, that came off, so you know.
Thank you, Tony. Brighton have announced the signing of the Watford striker Jean Pedro for a club record fee of just £30 million plus out of easy 20 million.
And the tractor is black. So
Manchester City spot for tomorrow's game.
What I did to sort out initially was to take the wave change switch out off the HT, because the HT was off for these two valves, by the wave change switch. But now, now you see, to listen, it all happens with it up full. And so this is another crackle from somewhere else. This set's determined to crackle at me, but I'm not going to let it win, because we don't round here.
So traffic is starting to ease. Also,
Now, so it isn't very sensitive, and that is, I believe, because of the one capacitor, which was actually wet to the chemicals inside coming out. So I took it out off and removed it, and that capacitor goes between the aerial sockets. Now, when that happens, of course, we've got to put it back, but I don't know what size it is. So what I did was I went and looked at various other ones and chose a reasonable size, which I'm going to put in. As far as the crackle is concerned, yeah, not very friendly, that is it. Well, it's a different sort of crackle. I know it sounds daft, but it's a different sort of crackle. Well, the problem with that new crackle was actually feedback related. Feedback, of course, basically feeds part of the signal back to hold the audio side and check all the RF side or whatever. And the wire capacitors were definitely not giving any feedback anywhere. So I've changed it, and now,
when we play all-star penalty shootout,
there we are.
was with Nissan Vans. Use your...
That, by the way, is a very low sounding goal station there. Going down here like that. See what we get on. Nothing, okay. Nothing much there either. But I'm not using much in aerial, so what do you expect? I think if I was to put a meter probe in the back in the usual fashion, like that, there might be something on shortwave as well.
So we're going to be
There we are. And this shortwave, as you can hear there, it's alive. So basically this set now needs a bulb obviously, and a bit of decent aerial. Two things which we can provide here, one better than the other. So I think these bulbs will do. I'll put one in and we'll see. If not, maybe it doesn't, but if it does, well great. I don't know quite what these are, but we'll put one in and see what it does. There we go, out it comes, there we are. I got a load actually from a rally once, but then I found out I had no orders, so I was stuck with buying off eBay. So let's see what that does. That'll do. There we are. I don't think it's 12 volts, it's 6 volts, but it does something, so there we are. There we are, so that's that. So now I'll put the set back in its case, and by the way, as for the back capacitor on the back panel there that was wet for some reason, the chemical coming out, I just put one in based on other sets, other circuit diagrams. You can do that. If you're not sure, look at a number of sets and you'll get an idea. Particularly sets from the same make of the same era. And that's something which you can do. But now, of course, we've got to put this thing back together again and do it aerial and see what happens. There was a problem actually with the tuning dial. Part of it was missing. The indicator, the rod was there, but the bit that attached it to the wire at the back was incomplete. The bit was missing. So I thought, what can I do? At the moment it's curing actually, not drying, curing. Like paint, it cures, it does not dry. But anyway, what you do, what I've done here, I'll tell you a great place to go for useful bits and pieces, and you probably won't think of it, Hobbycraft. Now I'm not associated with Hobbycraft in any way, I'm just telling you this as a friend and a colleague, okay? In the floristry department, you can get stuff called Oasis. This stuff is thin wire that is used to tie big bunches of flowers together. But because of that reason, it's thin, it holds its shape, and the idea here is when it's dried up properly, is that it will do the same thing as the bit that's missing. Sometimes in the vintage radio world, you've got to think outside the box, because obviously the parts for that, I could put the radio with the tuning dial and say, well, fair enough. Or I could look at another way to fix it, which is what I've done here with this stuff. OasisFloral.com if you want to look online. And yeah, they give this wire here, this stuff, and it does in fact hold on perfectly to the tuning dial as far as I can tell, but at the moment it's drying out, so I can't really take it back and forth. But also in there, there's pliers, soldering iron, could you not, solder. It's quite interesting what's in there. I've been in there for stuff before for use on radios. It's worth going having a look. It really is. Anyway, I'll be back when this is dried, and I hope it works. Well, here it is. It's an HMV Something. I don't know what, because there's no battery, there's no power underneath as well. But without them, I've managed to get the thing looking fairly well too.
Good job, guys.
That is without an aerial.
It was nice racing, the brief amount of racing we had between those two. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Perez is a good racer.
The dial does work, although I do need to work a bit more on that way of doing it.
To have any chance of keeping Max behind. He didn't do enough in the first stint, he didn't do enough when Max was in ninth. He didn't make much
of a gap. There you are, it's working radio, which I can think is working.
Give a big welcome to tonight's guest on After the Lights Go Out here on TalkSport. It's a very good evening.
That's TalkSport, by the way. There's not much on news and web now, but I will soon have a transmitter for that. So
good, mate. Adam,
we'll make life a little bit easier. I want to keep these sets going because, well, they're part of history and
I think
they're nice to work on. They always sound good, and well, these actually you can feed. Bluetooth and stuff into them as well, so they're not completely useless. No radio is ever useless, you know, but some people
I mean,
think it is.
doesn't it? And towards the end of your career, you've got to probably.
But there you are. It's a HMV Something. So what's wrong with this? Well, first of all, that crackle we due to bad contacts on the wave chains, which I took out. I changed a few capacitors as well. The
And other things.
the other kind of crackle
So
and
so I probably took the easy route out and
the whistle
quit, which is probably
has gone, as you can hear
by
there.
nature, but I did.
This is the third series we've done this, and this is
The
the
hardest thing
hardest
I
part
did with that,
of it for me, because my first
I adapted
trip to sort of senior
the
cricket
dial
was England under 90s.
using Oasis
One of my
wire,
first
which I need
regrets
to
was
work
Ben
on.
Hoyok. Being with Ben,
And of course, on top of that,
what was it like playing?
I've also put the speaker on Wago connected because
I've seen him grow.
it's easy that way.
At the time, I don't think you really.
It's amazing how
appreciate the gravity
better
of what's going
a radio sounds on its own speaker, isn't it? For
on.
that.
Kids just started out playing, and it was pretty easy.
Amazing, isn't it? Anyway, that's it from me for this edition of Steve's Long Stay Vintage Radio Workshop.
Even for
So
me.
until next time, goodbye. Take care of yourselves and each other. Look after radios and TVs in Turkey. It's good to repair them, by the way, for a number of reasons. One, of course, it's good for the soul, and two, of course, kids out of landfill and you can still use them. So why not?
Current boys,
And of course, well, see you soon. Bye bye.
the Overton brothers, sorry. And just seeing people write